Okay, Sunday morning in the kingdom. Yes, Sunday morning. Oh, I'm all screwed up. It's a little smoky out here. And also, too, it's Sunday. Oh, where's the talent? Make sure you empty vacuum. The dogs are shedding like you wouldn't believe, but we had a couple warm days. Oh, I got talent. Yes. All right. So this morning we woke up to plus 11, but on the yo-yo scale, plus 51. Yes, 51 degrees. Yes. And there's no wind, which you can see here. Plus, you can hear everything. The dogs are growling because they want to go out and run and poop and pee everywhere. Yes. All right, let's walk out into the middle of the yard here. Yes. So we can see the vacuum over there. Yes. Look at that smoke. It's, how would you say, it was pretty dense fog here this morning, or dense smoke. It was like being in London. All right. Also, too, with the fires south of town there, yes, we have the XY forest fire and the Lightning McQueen forest fire. So let's play the game, The Gauntlet. Remember Clint Eastwood in the movie or the film The Gauntlet, and he fortified that bus because he had to deliver, how would you say, Sandra Locke, I think her name was Sandra Locke. Yes, he fell in love with her in the film, and then he fell in love with her off screen too. So they had a Vegas betting thing at Vegas there, see if he would make it. So I don't know. Leave in the comments below, which fire do you think is going to arrive in WHO-ville first? The XY forest fire or Lightning McQueen? Yes, it's going to be old school ex-wife against the young, fast Lightning McQueen. Oh, these things. I'd come up with these harebrained ideas sober. I never come up with these things when I'm drinking. Yes, today would be a perfect day to day drink to get that smoke taste out of your mouth, but we can't. We have things to do. The boss wants that storage shed there turned into a water tank, so that'll be today's project. Hopefully I'm sober enough to weld. Oh my, it's going to be terrible welds. I'm going to have to learn how to grind. All right, let's focus here. All right, we're made one rotation almost. There's the power unit. No, the power source is looking good. Once it dries, the paint dries in a couple of months, we can put some trim paint on. Yes. All right, a little bit more. A little bit more. And we're right back where we started. On the world's worst intro. I hate doing these things sober. Well, we better go. Here comes the boss.
Sunday morning in WHO-ville. It's almost 9 a.m. and I just got the quad out. Now I'll head over to the kingdom and see what my dad's up to this morning. As you can see, it is pretty smoky out here right now, but there's not much wind, which is good. Looks like it's going to be a nice day, so let's head over and see what my dad's up to. Just after 9 a.m. and I'm finishing up in the kingdom. We're going to be working on that tank today and convert it back into a water tank. It is pretty big, so it should hold a lot of water. Now I'll head into WHO-ville and let the dogs out. As you can see by the flags, there's not much wind right now, which is good. 10 a.m. and I'll head back to the kingdom and we'll start working on that tank shed. Gonna empty it out, get all the pallets and the shelves out, then we can drag it up by the shop and my dad can work on it. It is still pretty smoky out here right now, but the wind is starting to pick up. Doesn't look like the fire is doing much over there, but it is still burning away. Made it to the kingdom. Now my dad will get on the loader and move the power source and the welder out of the way. That way when we bring the tank shed over to work on, my dad has a lot of room. As you can see, the flags are starting to blow. The wind is picking up again. The power source is looking good, all painted up. My dad even painted the plywood. He numbered it to make sure we know which board goes where, and then he marked on it when we started it and when we finished. Got the power source and the welder moved. Now my dad will bring the green toy over so we can pull the tank shed ahead a bit. That way we can get in behind it to unbolt the shelves from the wall. Got the tank shed pulled ahead. Now we can get these bolts out here and take the shelves off. There's about 6 bolts that are in here holding all the shelves together, so we can take those off and then move the shelves over to the next trailer. Almost 11 a.m. we're able to get the shelves unbolted. Now we just have to get it out the door. Got the shelves out of the tank shed. Now we're going to bring it over to trailer number 9 here and just slide it in where these parts are. So my dad's going to move it out of the way. We're just going to leave the shelf in here for now and worry about it later. Got the shelves into trailer 9, no problem. Now we'll head back over and take all the pallets and the plywood out of the bottom of the tank shed, then hook onto the green toy and bring it up to the shop. WHO-ville is evacuated, but of course the lodges still get to fly in and out. Right over the kingdom they go. We are going to take the door off before we move it any further. That way when we take this beam down, we don't have to worry about bending the door, because the door will go back on, then my dad can weld all around it to seal it up. $11:30 and we got the tank up to the shop. Now we'll bring the wheelbarrow, the shovel, and the broom over and sweep out the bottom of the tank here. That way it's nice and clean. Inside the tank shed, sweeping it out, and it started to rain. Look at that. Hopefully we get a good rain all day long. Got the tank cleaned out the best we can. Now we'll use the loader to roll it on its side. That way my dad can use the plasma cutter and get the beam out. Almost 12 p.m. we're able to get the tank rolled over and we put the plasma cutter inside. After lunch my dad will cut the beam out and then use the green toy to pull it out. Then we can roll the tank back over and put the door on. Thought the tag was on the top here, but as you can see it looks like my dad cashed it in for brass back in the day so he could get a case of beer. So we'll have to do a quick search to see how big this tank really is. I did a quick search and this tank is 11,000 gallons. That means it's going to be 11 trips with the loader and the tank to fill this once it's all sealed up. Now I can head into WHO-ville and make lunch. Hopefully the power stays on.
Okay, lunchtime in the kingdom and it's getting warm out here. It's kind of like a humidity. All right, so I got the roller thingy off the beam there so I don't damage it. Plus that's why we took the door off. It's over here and we're going to buff it up so we can weld it back on. All right, so over here we got the top bung out, and this is what we use to feed the black tanks. Yes, we put this down one of those holes in the black tanks, and then we have this welded to the top of the tank, and then we clevis it into here, so this isn't, I would say, popping out as we're filling the tank. So we have to make sure that that is installed. We got a bunch of welding to do over here. Let's do the walk and talk. Alright, seeing how the door is going back on, we got to make sure we have pieces on the inside here welded so that we can push against the door so it's flat. We don't want to have to, door in and pull it back. Ooh, it's echoing. And that's one reason why we have to roll the tank, because how's the plasma cutter going to cut way up there? Plus for safety. Ooh, too much shadows or glare. There, that's better. Alright, so we have some holes we got to weld, but we've marked them on the outside. And we're leaving this thing as a tank shed. So it's temporarily going to be a water storage facility, and then it can go back to being a tank shed. So we'll leave the hinges on after we weld them, so it can easily be torched out or plasma cutted to get the door back. And we got the bottom bung out, so the gifted 2-inch valve, when it arrives, it's going on there, so we can get the water out. Just a minor detail. All right, let's go burn some lunch in the microwave and hope for the best.
2 p.m. and I'll head back over to the Kingdom and see if my dad's ready to flip the tank back over. Made it to the Kingdom. It looks like my dad is ready to get the beam off. Hopefully the Mini can just pull it off, and then we'll get the green toy over here and pull it all the way out. Got the beam free. Now we're going to get the green toy out and hook onto it and hopefully just pull it directly out without any more drama. 3 p.m. we just got the beam out, no problem. I moved it over a little bit so my dad can hook onto it with the loader and pull it down to where the rest of the beams are. p.m. and now my dad's gonna do his welding and a few other things. I'll head up onto the mine site and check out how the fire is doing since I get a good view from there. Then I'll go back into WHO-ville and run my sprinklers for a little bit.
Okay, 3:30 in the Kingdom. We didn't stop for coffee because the clock in the shop quit. Yes, the battery-powered clock quit. Oh, these lips. So what we're doing right now, seeing how the tank is leaning over here, is we're putting little stopper things in. Ooh, the echo. So we're putting little stopper things in here because when we push on the door, we want to weld it shut. Yes, we want to weld it shut. So here's my collection of pieces. We're using the buzz box to conserve on fuel. Yes, because when the power goes out, that's going to be our only means. And we got the chain welded on over here, because usually we forget about it, and then we'd have to climb up the ladder to weld the chain on. So then this filler spout goes in there, and we got to fix the lid over there. Just a minor detail. We'll have to beat it into submission.
4 p.m. and I just finished running the sprinklers. I'll let the tank fill up again, then I'll head over to the Kingdom and see what my dad's up to. It is still pretty windy out here right now. 4:30 and I made it to the Kingdom. Looks like my dad is ready to put the door back on, so he'll bring the loader around and we'll hook onto the door and lift it up into place. Not sure how we did it, but we're able to get the door back on in one shot. I guess today's our lucky day. Now my dad's gonna go down the side here and cover up all the holes. I'm gonna head back into WHO-ville, then I'll come to the Kingdom in about an hour or so. 5:30 and I just came to the Kingdom to see what my dad was up to, and it looks like he is welding the door shut. Takes a lot of talent to weld uphand. I'll walk up and show you guys. $6 p.m. and I just got back from the kingdom. Now I'll head inside and let the dogs out, then I can make supper. It is getting pretty dark out here. Looks like it might rain, and that's what we need. So let's head inside and end my day.
Okay, 6 o'clock, and we've had enough because it's going to start raining here right away. So we got the back of the tank welded. There's 6 holes, and the plug screwed right back in as if it was brand new. Yes, and also too on these welds here, they were just a 1/4-inch drill hole, but we start at the bottom here, just go back and forth, back and forth. As you can see, we have lots of undercut because we're burning it in hot. Yes, hot, just like today was. All right, let's do the walk and talk video because everybody needs their exercise. And we shoved some bolts in there, and they're not the best bolts. We just shoved bolts in there and welded around and around until we got dizzy, and yeah, and then made it look smooth. All right, just a little bit more down here, and it works good for the ground clamp to clamp on there. Yes, we can weld. Yes. All right, so over here, all right, we're using the loader to push it in, but we had the end pieces put on, or the inside flange. All right, so now we got to dress up the bottom there with the plasma cutter, nip that off, and the hinges have to come off to get a good weld in behind, which is no problem. So we're just doing a vertical uphand quickly and hot. Yes, we're burning it in hot, and we'll do a nice cover pass. Yes, and we'll roll the tank over to do an uphand here, and to make the plate for there, because there's no sense climbing up and down to make the plate for there. We'll just do a cover plate. Yeah, it's a cover plate. All right, let's go get these tools put away. We got a mess, and oh, we'll show you how it's going to rain here. I don't know if the staff has done that. There's a storm over there, and I've had enough working in this heat, in and out of the tank. Oh, I was just like a real job on a Sunday. Okay, I just got the tools put away and the shop doors closed, and here comes the rain. Hopefully it rains for more than an hour, maybe 2 hours. Yes, and we can relax tonight. All right, let's go walk the dogs. Yeah, right. Yeah, make a video, and we'll talk to you guys later.